Hey everybody, Sean here, Boosted Miata VVT, episode 3. I'm still trying to figure out what is wrong with my VVT. Why isn't it working? I really want it to work because it's going to give this motor that little extra oomph that it needs to be the perfect little boosted Miata. So come on, let's check it out. So a couple of interesting things are happening with my VVT. It's working occasionally. When the motor is started in the morning, it works for about, I don't know, a few minutes. The engine warms up and then the VVT just stops working. And the reason I know that is if you look here at my logs, what you can see here is the green line is my target VVT angle and the red line is the actual angle. And you can see here that they're pretty well matching up. I mean, it's close enough for it. You know, I've got 13 degrees target, I'm at 9 degrees actual. Sometimes they're right on the money. Here it's 18.9 on the target and it's 21 degrees actual. And then at some point it goes dead. Here you can see the green line is way up here, that's my target, and then the actual angle down here, the red line, is like retarded 0.3 degree or negative 3 degrees timing. So there is definitely an issue with my VVT and I'm not sure what it is. It's working partially. So what could it be? I think I'm going to take the oil feed tube off the top, take it all apart, basically take everything off that I can get to without removing the valve cover and actually removing the intake gear that has the actuator on it, because I don't want to get into that right now. I'd prefer to just take all the stuff off the top of the valve cover before I actually remove the valve cover and see if there's something in there, clean it up, and take it for a test drive and see if I can get this VVT to work. I desperately want it to work because when that VVT is working, the engine just purrs. I mean, it's got a lot of grunt down low and it runs really good. When it's not working, you lose that extra little boost of power. And I really want my VVT to work, so I'm gonna get this going. So I don't have to take off that banjo bolt in the back, which is nice. This is an O-ring that I have to put back on there. And then this is the little filter. You can see here, I don't know if you can see that, but it is definitely not very clogged up. I can see into it. I don't see any issues. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean this. So I was able to do that without pulling off the oil line completely, which is cool, because that way I don't waste those copper crush washers in the back. And I'm just checking to make sure we got oil everywhere. So here's the, I don't know what this is called, the housing, I don't know. But I can tell by looking in here, this is kind of dirty inside. There's some buildup of some gunk. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out. Give everything a good wash. So I have everything laid out here that I just disassembled. Like I was saying, this filter looks pretty good. I don't think it's an issue at all. It looks clear. Here's the oil control valve solenoid thingamabogger. I'll go ahead and clean that. This is the gasket, and then this is the little housing. It's kind of dirty in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this out, get some brake cleaner, and just kind of go to town on this right now. See if this made any difference. I'm gonna reassemble this now. Okay, so I need, first things first, gasket needs to go back down, like so. Then the housing thingamabogger goes on like this, carefully over this tower of whatever, the oil feed. Okay, snaps in. That all feels good. All right. Then I want to go ahead and bolt that down. O-ring goes back in. Filter goes on like so. Okay. Okay, looking good. Alright, I gotta find the screw. Where'd it go? Where did you go, little screw? Lost a screw and it fell in here, down here somewhere. So got my little magnet with a light on it, and we're gonna fish it out. I don't know where it is, down here somewhere. I'm just hoping my magnet hits it. Gotcha, son of a gun. There we go, got it. I'm gonna take the boosted Miata out for a quick spin to see if this VVT is working any better now that we kind of cleaned it up. What I have here on my dash shows my VVT. This is the top number is the actual VVT angle, and the bottom number is my target. So you can see right now my target is 3, and I'm fluctuating between minus something to up to 5. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, and if that top number is moving freely up to 30 some odd degrees, then things are working. But it's done this before on startup, and then it stops working. So I got to drive it a little bit and see what happens. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out for a bit of a drive right now. So keep your eye on the top one, the pink numbers. So those are my actual degrees advanced, and I can tell you right now, it feels like it's working because this thing feels really quick right now. Ugh. Oh yeah, it's definitely working at the moment. As I can tell. I can feel it. Now we're getting a little difference now. Yeah. See, it's starting to drop. Yeah, it's starting to retard again. As you saw, the VVT just dropped out of target and flatlined again. So I have to pull that VVT actuator out, which I didn't want to do, but I guess I got to do that, and I guess I'll do that tomorrow or when I get some more time. I don't have time right now, but it's really late and I'm really tired. But I will pull that out and take a look at that VVT gear again and see what is going on and see if I can't get that thing to work. You know, I just had a thought. My neighbor next door has a Miata. It's a 2003, and he actually parks it right between our houses. And the reason I bring that up is because I think it's possible that this oil control valve solenoid right here, it's possible this thing heats up and dies. Even though I tested that and it was working, and obviously it was working for a little while tonight. But I wonder if that oil control valve solenoid is bad and just goes out after it warms up. And I really, really want to try to get this fixed tonight. I'm just so desperate. I think what I'm going to do, this is sneaky, I think I'm going to steal his solenoid off his Miata. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? He's gonna come out. So here's his car. No one locks their Miatas because they don't want their tops to get ripped. Damn it. Shit. Shh. Quiet, dumbass. Come off of there. Come on. All right. Yes. Got it. Shit, that's really fast. Yikes. Alright, I hope he doesn't get pissed if he wakes up. I don't think he'll wake up. He's a teacher. He sleeps pretty good. Alright, so now let's pull mine off and replace it with his. Oh, it's hot. Ooh, it's hot. Well, it gets really hot. Okay, so that's mine. I'm standing that up. Okay. All right. The deed is done. So I borrowed my neighbor's solenoid, and maybe that'll do the trick. We'll find out right away if it's working right away. So let's see if that does it. All right, well, I've got the new solenoid in, and it seems to be working not very good. You can see that it is off by quite a bit, pretty much in a retarded position, not really advancing much at all. Well, that didn't work. So it's definitely not the solenoid control valve. And I cleaned everything else, so it has to be in the actual actuator gear itself. So I'm gonna have to take it apart and see what is going on. So I'll probably do that another day, possibly tomorrow. To be continued. So it is the next day, and I had some time to think about what's going on with this VVT, do a little research, talk to my brother, and kind of figure out a plan. Doing my research and talking to my brother, he suggested I use a diesel oil. And I'm using some T6 Rotella from Shell. This isn't a paid endorsement or anything. This is just what I bought. I could have bought something else. There's other brands. Everyone has a brand. I bought the 5-weight-40. It's a synthetic diesel oil. It's pretty cheap. I think this was like 22 bucks, 24 bucks. The cool thing about this oil is that it has higher levels of ZDDP, which is a zinc phosphorus compound that gasoline oils have reduced because it tends to wear out catalytic converters quicker, they say. But for diesel vehicles, that's not a concern. So it still has ZDDP. It has extra detergents and so forth in there. So this is actually considered a pretty good oil, especially for the VVT system, because it can help clean things out. And so I did my Googling last night, and I read some people claiming that they had very similar issues with their VVT that I'm having. And they started using Rotella T6 or a similar diesel oil, and it fixed the problem, which, you know, I'm very skeptical of those kind of claims that an oil like Marvel Mystery Oil or Seafoam or any of that stuff can actually cure problems. But there was a lot of people saying it actually helped, so I said, why not? I'm gonna give it a try. So I changed the oil just now, and I'm ready to take it on a drive. You probably can't see me really well because it's dark, but I've got a new dash set up for the VVT. You can see it's much bigger. Hopefully you can see that better. We're gonna drive with this for a little while, see if anything improves. Let me explain. So I improved this gauge. So the top one is the actual angle, the bottom one is the target angle, where it should be. And let's see how it goes. So I'm gonna drive a little while, see how this does. Here it goes again. Now, this is where it happened last time. It's starting to drop out of advance and starting to go into retarded mode. I'm getting a little advanced, but I'm not getting a lot. Alright guys, I think we're just going to end it here. I don't think this oil is going to solve the problem, but it's really too, I've only been driving for like a half hour. I think it's just too early to tell at this point. So what I'm going to do is just leave the oil in here. I have VVT when the car is first started and it's cold, so I can enjoy a few minutes of VVT action. We'll see how this oil does. If it works, great. If not, then we're going to have a VVT Part 4. So this is the end of VVT Part 3, and I really appreciate you guys checking out my videos. If you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, just leave them down below. I love to read what you have to say. In the meantime, guys, thanks a lot. Look for more videos soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.